So, do you want to tell us something about the years you were doing probation work?
Well, I worked doing community service, running community service projects, which is useful work. It's useful in that it works for the people you're taking out. Anything you can do that keeps people out of prison is a good idea. So if community service works well, it takes people who have done something wrong, we've all done things wrong in our time, and rather than throw them in prison, it gives them a chance to make some form of amends, cool their heels, perhaps think a little bit more about what they're going to do in the future. And to the extent that that worked, that was always a really good part of what I was doing for probation. It was interesting. You meet some very, very interesting people. People have odd ideas about offenders. They think, number one, they think they're thick, which they're not. Number two, they think they're different from them, which a lot of times they're not. And what's number three? I don't know. People have a way of judging other people that isn't really helpful. It doesn't help someone if you take something they've done wrong and just keep on at it and on at it. We've all done it wrong. We've all done stuff that's been wrong from time to time. Some people get caught. Some small event might lead to a big event, and their lives can just sort of go from being slightly bad to incredibly worse. So to the extent that I managed to help a few people try and find a better way of doing things, I quite enjoyed it.
So what was your role?
I would run projects from restoring village halls, churches, that sort of thing. We'd do occasional buildings. We did I think the biggest project we did a 3-story Victorian building, basement through to the roof. We did everything in it, rewired it, replumbed it, all taking guys, some with skills in what they were doing, but often young guys who don't really get a chance to get it wrong. I know that sounds odd, but when you want to learn how to do something, the best way, the way you learn is by getting it wrong. That's how people learn. They do something and they get it wrong and they go, I'll do it better next time. And a lot of young kids particularly don't get any chance to, they don't really genuinely get a chance to get it wrong. So I would go into projects and make sure we weren't going to do any harm, but give these guys the responsibility of doing it right. And if that meant they would do something and it wasn't working the way they needed to do it, let them go down that road and then stop and come back and go, right, well, was that the best way we could have done it? Is that the best result you could have had? And actually by people doing things and getting it slightly wrong, they learn to think about what they're doing rather than just do what you tell them. And it's a fairly, you can't live your life with people telling you what to do all the time, because when there's no one around, there's no one to listen to, so you need to think for yourself.